Hello and welcome to episode 26, February 22. What is happening, people? Okay, so last month we was chatting about the good old Kites band that me and a few others tried to put together with love. But I don't know, love ain't enough. Do you know what I mean? You have to have that kick in the arse with it, you know what I mean? It can't just be all fun and games. You have to have a bit of don't know, that person at the top dishing it out. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we had a good time while we was rolling with the trumpets, but yeah. So anyway, right, so we had like me and Addie and Rosemary and Alex, and then we had a fella called Michaeli join the band with his bass guitar, and yeah, he was a lovely fella, I like that, and I don't know, just started to become good mates with him, really, like. And then once I'd found out that he was a dub band at the old Logic Pro, and he could just play anything probably. I think the only thing he didn't do was sing. So, do you know what I mean? If he could sing, he'd probably do it all on his own. But I suppose he needed that front man. Well, to tell you the truth, he's come over from Italy. He looked on Gumtree, seen my advert. Do you know what I mean? Like, he needs to make friends and that, and joining a band is probably a great way to make mates. And the Kites would have been the perfect band to join because it was just a mate thing. You know what I mean? We didn't really get a seriousness into the. But I suppose once you start getting that seriousness into the old band status, that's when it becomes regimental and general. And do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it's hard. You can't have all the fun and that, and not have that hierarchy. You know what I mean? That person whipping you into shape, keeping. Do you know what I mean? Like, some nights we would go to rehearsals and just, like, I don't know, book a couple of hours down at Creation or whatever, and we just sort of talk about what we'd done that weekend, or, you know what I mean? And it just, you go through, like, you've got a set in your head of 10 songs or whatever, and you might go through that set once and then maybe pick up on 2 or 3 tracks that you feel need a bit of kicking in the ass. But really the whole 10-song set needed a kick in the ass, you know what I mean? And you need to be a bit more regimented, because if you're not, you're not going to progress, you know what I mean? You're just going to, all right, fair enough, go down the old rehearsal room, play 10 songs, and, do you know what I mean, pat each other on the back, say well done, and then talk about how many tequilas you've done that weekend. You know what I mean? It just ain't gonna. It's just not gonna flow. You sort of know what I mean. You know what I mean? You've got to be headstrong. You know what I mean? You can't go marching into the deep without a couple of sergeants and a corporal. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so yeah, so we're Michaeli's coming to rehearsals. We're the next big thing in our heads. You know what I mean? Like, we're all having a good time and that. But you can't, as I keep saying, you're just not going to get to the next level without the old push. So I'm afraid to say it fizzled out in the end. You know what I mean? It was just like, because you're still all pals, but you end up thinking, why are we paying £30 to talk about tequila? You know what I mean? Let's go around Addie's house and have a right laugh. So it just sort of petered out. But obviously I had in the time of the rehearsals that we had or whatever, I had my eye on Michaeli, because I knew there was something there. You know what I mean? Like I just you know what I mean. So we all stayed pals, and do you know what I mean? Went to Addy's house and got drunk. Nice one. But on the other on the little down low, Chappie had started to recruit and pollute Michaeli. You know what I mean? Like just so me and Michaeli just started meeting up at my house at my little home studio, and just started throwing ideas about and that, and just, you know what I mean? Let's see what's happening. You know what I mean? Like, so we've done a lot of talking. We've done a lot of like checking out YouTube videos and checking this band out and that band out, and him telling me about what he's into and me showing him what I'm into and all that. That's how it started off. But yeah. He was a great guy, Michaeli. So I don't know, these ideas started to come together a bit better, and yeah, and songs started coming out of the ideas. You know what I mean? Like so I'm gonna show you a tune that was probably one of the first, if not the first tune that we put together, and I will get to where this tune was released or whatever, but for now, this song is called 1666, and well, Chapman's all over it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a bit of a London thing and that, and but the music is better than what I could sort of pluck out of my little fingers on my acoustic guitar or whatever. You know what I mean? So this song was a complete collaboration between the pair of us, me and Michaeli. It's called 1666. Look it up, that date, London, 1666. Let's have a listen to the track, and then we will carry on chatting.
Saw the blitz from the sky. 100,000 so sweet tonight. Within you, I'll be alright. Stones of a London street, rats like dogs running round your feet. The smell from the river gives me a quiver. You better watch your back from Jack the Ripper.
Yes, and that was 1666, a Chapman Bertelli tune, a Chapman Bertelli tune. His surname was Bertelli. Yeah, nice. Yeah, so I mean, once we had that one in the bag, it was like, right, what's next? But obviously, I am quite a prolific songwriter in the. I've just got bags of stuff all over the shop that haven't ever been used or done or whatever. So, I mean, before we started collaborating on the second tune, I just started pulling tunes out of the bag that I knew were great and they needed to be recorded and put out there, you know what I mean? And yeah, Michaeli was fine with that. Like, just show him the chords, the melody and all that, and then he sort of helped me out with bits of bass and lead guitar, and then the old Logic drummer helps us out in that department. Yeah, so basically I will show you the next track. Well, to tell you the truth, I don't know what order we recorded these in, but this is another track that was in a little batch of 14 that we put together, and this is a tune that I wrote a long time ago, and I've probably played it in about 5 bands. But this is the Chapman Bertelli version of Behind the Wheel, baby.
Drives me mad, but
and that was Behind the Wheel. Yeah, a tune that I wrote quite a long time ago, but with Michaeli's oomph with me. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it's a good version compared to like some of the older versions that I've got. I've got another good version actually that I played with Spuggy. Let's not talk about that anyway. Okay, so I mean these I've got quite a few tunes that me and Michaeli have put together. Like, do you know what I mean? And I can't play it all to you because it's just too much. You're gonna have to get on iTunes and buy the albums, and I'll give you all the details of all that later. I'm probably gonna split this episode, like these Michaeli, Chapman, whatever you want to call it, studio sessions, into 3 episodes. So this first episode, I'm going to concentrate, other than 1666, which was like a bit of a hello to this collaboration, but with me and Michaeli, like that was a complete collaborated effort between the pair of us. But I've got 5 more tracks that I'm going to show you in this episode, and they're all sort of my tracks that's had a bit of Michaeli's help to put them into full band tracks. Yeah, so that was Behind the Wheel, and that was my tune with, this is me and Michaeli's version of it. And we will move on to a track that I actually wrote fairly close to the time of these collaborations. It would have only been probably while the Kites was happening, I wrote it, and then it was sitting there probably waiting to show it to the Kites, and never got showed to them. So once we bagged Behind the Wheel, I pulled it out of the hat and I said, I've got this tune, it's called Live On. I actually had this version of this track played at my dad's funeral. Yeah, nice. Yeah, so this next track is called Live On, and as I say, these next 5 or so tracks, whatever, they're going to be like originally my songs with a bit of Michaeli's influence on them. And then next episode I'll delve deeper into the old collaborating side, and then in the last episode, I don't know, we'll see what else I can pull out of the hat. There ain't no live stuff because yeah, let's not get into that, but in the last episode I'll get into that or whatever. But yeah, so this is Live On, nice one.
lights above display your name. Now it's mine to do the same. You're gonna live on forever. Your spirit lives on. Even when you're gone, your spirit lives on. You're bringing people together. Your spirit lives on. Your spirit lives on. Your spirit lives on. You're gonna live on forever. You're gonna live on. Even when you're gone, you're gonna live on. You're bringing people together. You're gonna live on. Your spirit lives on. 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 You're gonna live on.
Yes, and that was Live On. As I say, I wrote that song around the time of the Kites. I played it at my dad's funeral because it seemed to fit the Live On. Well, yeah, in my mind. Okay, so we will now. Well, let me just explain a little bit about. There's a couple of albums on iTunes. One is the collaboration of me and Michaeli, and another is my own solo album. They sort of have the same sort of songs on them, but I've remixed and mastered the version that is my solo album. And then there is this version out there. It's under a band name Fly Pelican Fly. I'll talk more about that in the last episode. But if you want either version, get on iTunes, search Fly Pelican Fly. The Chameleon Bag is the name of the album, and that is the collaborated version of the album. And then there's my solo version of the album, which is called The Italian Job. Very fitting. And that's John Chapman, The Italian Job. You can get on iTunes, check that out as well. Okay, so let's carry on. As I'm saying, these next 5 tracks that I'm playing is sort of my tunes that's had a bit of Michaeli spread on top. So while I was picking about for new tracks and tracks that I'd written that I wanted to get done, I come across this song that I wrote literally when I was 16 years old, when I was in The Voice. I think it was the first phase of The Voice, and I never showed the others because it was so new. It was like before It's Free and Resurrection, and I thought the others wouldn't really like it, and I just thought, it's not good enough to show them, so I won't show them. But then I pulled it out of the hat with my little 4-track recordings of it and stuff, and I just thought to myself, maybe me and Michaeli can have a go at this song and see if we can make something of it. So I pulled it out of the hat, showed it to Michaeli. Michaeli done his thing, and then this is what we've come back with, and this is Fortress. Nice one.
She stood out
that is a tune called Fortress. And I think that me and Michaeli done a good job, because I think it's a right top tune. Yeah, and I can't believe that was just sitting on a piece of paper and a cassette tape waiting to be brought to you. Yeah, so all right, so let's move on to the next track that I'm going to play you, and that is a track called Teenage Wasteland. Now, this is a track that I wrote probably, I don't know, around the Fever Dogs time maybe, and it was another one that was just sitting in the old archive that I hadn't shown anyone. And then when I was in the tally, the phase of me, Richard Fox, Jack Yetton, and Steve Smith. Yeah, because Richard was like, he had loads of bass lines and he just always wanted to be writing tunes and that. So I just took this song and took the lyrics from it and that, and wrote a new melody over his bass line. And yeah, and I have an album on iTunes called Double Double, and it has the other version on the album. So if you want to check it out, it's on all the streaming sites. It's on all the Amazon Music, iTunes, if you still like to buy music. Yeah, so go and check that out. But this version, this is my original version, but obviously it didn't have all these bells and whistles on it, you know what I mean? Like Michaeli, yeah, he was a top fella, Michaeli, and like I mean, when we started doing this whole home studio thing, I just wanted like songs. So we had like quite a few songs already like in the bag, you know what I mean? So it's like bringing all these songs that I'd like had finished but just acoustically, and yeah, do you know what I mean? Just because you'll see in the next episode that we do get down with the trumpets and start writing songs together, and we've got some pretty good songs, including the first track on this episode, 1666. Yeah, so anyway, so this version I'm going to play, basically this is the original, what I had, you know what I mean, but just the tune, the melody, you know what I mean, like without the bells and whistles, they've been added. Me and Michaeli done all that together. But yeah, so check this Teenage Wasteland out, and then we will move on. Nice one.
Let's believe the politics. it every day. Lean back, enjoy the free run. Next time you've got to pay.
Yes. And that was Teenage Wasteland, the Chapman Bertelli version. Yes. Okay. Yeah, so basically, yeah, all of these tracks that are on the album that me and Michaeli put together was released under a band name Fly Pelican Fly. There's a bit of a story around that name as well. Like when I was in the Young Voice, and we played our first gig at the Verge in Kentish Town, and there was a band of older guys from Kentish Town, and they was in a band called Fly Pelican Fly, and we arranged to play 2 gigs with them, and we didn't play any gigs with them because they never turned up, and then their band fell to pieces. But the whole Fly Pelican Fly thing came from Scarface when he's in the old bath with all the bubbles. Yeah, he's in the bath, and there's a telly in the background with some, I think they're actually flamingos, and someone scares them or whatever, saying "Fly, pelican, fly." They're not actual pelicans, but anyway, but that name sort of, yeah, sounded pretty good, and I think I probably would have just preferred to call it John Chapman and Michaeli Bertelli, but I think he wanted the band name, so we sort of used that for his and my version of that album. And yeah, that's on iTunes. You want to check that out, Fly Pelican Fly, and the album's called The Chameleon Bag, and that would be everything that me and Michaeli did together. And then I actually re-released the album as a John Chapman solo album, but I called it The Italian Job because the album is me and Michaeli, who's Italian, but then his Mrs. or ex-Mrs. Sang on Moonshine, and a friend of his who's Italian played this little drum thing. I don't know what it is, like a mix between a drum and a like a steel drum, like that sort of thing, but whatever. But he plays that in the bridge of, I can't even remember now if it's Don't Close the Light, or anyway, check the album out and you will come across it. Yeah. But yeah, so I re-released it as John Chapman, The Italian Job, and I also remixed and mastered the album to my liking. He is a much more professional engineer than I am. So if you listen to the 2 versions, well, you pick for yourself what one you like the best, but version 1 is Fly Pelican Fly, The Chameleon Bag, and that is me and Michaeli together. Michaeli was at the helm and I was sort of riding co-pilot, you know what I mean? But he was sort of controlling the door, if you like. But then when I wanted to re-release it, because a lot of it is me, my old tracks and things like that, so I just, do you know what I mean? It's like, it's fair enough. If he wanted to re-release it as his solo album, then that's fine by me as well, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, re-released it, The Italian Job, John Chapman, and yeah, it's just fitting in it. Like, okay, so we are going to a CHAP Tale. And if you listen to January's episode, you will know that there's there's second part of that CHAP TALE to come, man. You are getting it right here, right now. Part two, not episode two, part two of the CHAP TALE that was put out in January 22, and it is now February 22, and you are getting part two. So hope you enjoy this, and then I will come back to you because I've still got one more track to share with you. Okay, sweet, nice one, enjoy.
Come inside, there's a CHAP TALE waiting for you. CHAP Tales, don't you wanna hear some CHAP Tales?
Hello, people, and here we are in February 2022. So last month, January, you listened to the first half of this CHAP TALE, and now this month, February, I have the second half. Okay, so enjoy. Nice. Anyway, so we carry on. We get to where the cavern is, and it's like this little street. It's right Beatles up this street, you know what I mean? There's like a Beatles shop, and then there's the cavern, and there's other pubs and bars and some food places, I think, and that. So anyway, we're quite early, like, so we go in there just offhand to see if maybe the engineer was there to do a sound check or whatever, but he weren't there. But there was loads of Beatles memorabilia everywhere, and it was just like, oh, fucking hell, I was like, this is amazing. Do you know what I mean? We was just like, well, most of our group thought it was amazing. There's a few people that just didn't even give a shit about music. They just come in because we was going to Liverpool. And then so after we checked out the cavern and seen if we could sound check, but we couldn't, we decided to check out some of the other bars and pubs and that, 'cause they all had like funny names. I can't remember them, but you know, like, you for instance, there might have been a pub called Sergeant Pepper's, or do you know what I mean, or Beatlesy sort of reference sort of things, you know what I mean? So we're flying up and down this street, like, it's amazing. We didn't actually see much of Liverpool. It was like the walk from where we parked the van to the street that the old cavern's on, and then we just saw that whole street or whatever, but that was about it. And then but anyway, we ended up going in some other pub, and by this time it was like 11:30 or whatever, and they started serving, so everybody's just getting right on it, man, out there. Everyone was getting mentally out their faces. And then time flew by, and it was like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, whatever. So the band members sort of said, well, me, Jack and Chris, anyway, I hadn't even bumped into Richard at this point. We sort of said, right, we're going to go and do our sound check, and then we'll come back and meet you in here, yeah? And everyone's like, sweet. Angie's like, I'm coming with you. And I was like, yeah, fair enough. And I think Charlotte came with us as well. Oh, that's the thing that I just forgot to tell you. Just before we jumped on the motorway up to Liverpool, Charlotte's little mate she had with her, she just started throwing up, being sick. She's just like, so we had to pull over, and we was on Finchley Road, like, and we had to sit there because she was too ill to carry on with the trip, like, so we had to sit there until her dad had turned up to pick her up, like, and then obviously once that had happened, we carried on, and then I've already been through what we did up until this point, but yeah, so yeah, we were 16-handed. We'd lost one of our seats had become open. I think it became the seat to store the food on in the end. So we go for this sound check, and like Angie and Charlotte are with us, And then when we get in there, Richard and his girlfriend are there or whatever. So I suppose Charlotte, Angie and his girlfriend just sat having a chat or whatever. And we got up onto this stage and done our stuff. But it was funny, like, because we, when you go into the cabin, you go downstairs, and then if you're like a Beatles fan or whatever, you know about the cavern, you know that you used to see the Beatles playing in this arch. Do you know what I mean? And basically there was an arch like where they sort of would have played, but they'd added onto it like some massive stage and like quite a bit of a venue where the actual gig was. So I was a little bit sad about that, because I was just thinking, yeah, just let us play in that archway, you know what I mean? Like, that'd be much better. But no. So anyway, out the back is this slightly bigger stage and bigger part of the venue. It's all part of the cavern now, but I don't think that's how it would have been when the Beatles were playing there. But yeah, actually, to tell you the truth, I think someone, little birdie, told me that the cavern had actually been pulled down and rebuilt. I don't know how true that is, but I'm sure if you go on Google, you can find out. But anyway, so we're at this back bit with this bigger venue, like bigger bit of venue, and we doing our sound check, all sounding pretty good, yeah, all happy with the sound check. So we leave there, and I think me and Angie went up to look at this Beatles shop, like, and all the mad stuff they had in there, and basically, yeah, just looked around at everything, all the stuff. I think I probably bought some little silly bits or whatever, but then we was like, right, let's go and meet up with the others. So we went back to the pub bar place that we'd left them in before sound check, and obviously we walked in there, there's no one there, so it was like, oh, you know. So the time by now is probably about 6:30, and Angie's feeling a bit hungry. I was a bit hungry as well, so we went and found somewhere to eat, and sat in there for an hour and a half or whatever. I just had a couple of drinks, me and Angie, and some food and that. And then by this time it was like 8, half 8, and I think our stage time was 9:30. So we was like, right, let's find the others. So went looking all up and down this street, and basically found them. And yeah, they was in a karaoke sort of bar thing. So and that's where I've just remembered one of the people that I didn't mention, and that's my brother Richard. Yeah, so we walked into this karaoke bar, and we're like, right, we got to get ready to play. Like, and Richard's like, no, wait, I'm waiting for my song, please, let me sing my song and then we'll go. So I was like, all right, sweet. So Richard's turn comes, and he goes up on stage or whatever in this place, and he's singing Frank Sinatra. And yeah, do you know what? I think he done it well. I'll give him that. I think he did sing the song well. Yeah. And anyway, so he finished, and we dragged everyone out the bar and into the cavern. And yeah, by this time it had obviously filled up full of people or whatever. And I can remember that we only, because obviously the band didn't have to have tickets, like, so I think that means that we only sold 14 tickets out of the 18. So, and I can remember having these 4 spare tickets, and we was out in, because as you go in, the archway's there, like, and there was a Beatles cover band playing as well, actually, which was amazing. And then to get through to the bigger venue, you have to like pay to get through into that bit. So I'm standing here with these 4 tickets, like, and I was like, God, should we try and sell them? Like, and then I can't remember who said it to me, but they said, you can't try and sell them now. You know, just give them to some girls or something, get some more girls in there, because we ain't got many girls with us or whatever. So there was a group of girls, and we went over, I think, I can't remember who went over, but someone went over and said to him, do you want to come see our band for free? Give you all a ticket here. Just come through in there, and do you know what I mean? Like, and they was like, all right, cool, sweet. So we gave them the tickets, and they followed us through and that. And I got to admit that the actual venue bit wasn't quite as packed as the bit with the archway, because obviously there's a Beatles cover band, and like, if you're not a band and you're going to Liverpool and you're doing the whole cavern thing, watching a Beatles cover band is completely and utterly what you're going to do in it. But anyway, these girls came in because obviously it was for free or whatever, and then we the band went backstage, got ready, and then came out onto the stage and done our 10-song set. And I haven't got any recordings of that. I ain't got no videos because Desi weren't with us, and nobody else really did videos other than Des. Yeah. So I can't put anything up here and show you like us playing there or whatever, because yeah, it didn't happen. But anyway, we played, and it was a pretty good gig or whatever. But then I can remember finishing the gig and coming off stage, and I think that I don't know what's happened, but Asbo's come over to me and said, some fucking fellas want to have it or whatever. And I was like, well, why? What's happened? And he's like, Ben done something or the other. And I was like, for fuck's sake. I was like, look, we are in Scarstown, so let's not get, do you know what I mean? There's more Scousers than there is us. So let's just be good boys and be nice to everyone, and let's just, do you know what I mean, have a few more drinks, wait for the place to shut, and then we'll go home. And I managed to calm them down, but flipping, they're crazy lot sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, so it was hard, but we managed to do it for some miracle way. So basically stayed in the cavern, had a few more drinks and that, and then left, and then made our way to the van. And we all got on the van. Everyone was out of their faces. Everyone was definitely drunk, and there might have been a few other things floating about as well. So we won't talk about that. But it was a nightmare as well, because like everyone was being really noisy and stuff, and then flipping Chris has backed the van into like a low wall and smashed the side of the van, and it's like, oh God. So we looked at the damage or whatever, and Dean said when we got back, like because good old Dean's a mechanic and that, and he just said I might be able to like beat the panels out with like rubber hammer or something. So we said sweet, all right. So we're all in the van, we pull out of Liverpool, and we're back on the motorway, and flipping everybody's going nuts on the van. I felt so sorry for Chris having to drive with everyone being mad. Like Richard, obviously he had his car with him, so him and his missus done one in the car or whatever. But yeah, we come down the motorway and everybody's out of it. And do you know what? There's another thing that I didn't mention that I've got to mention, because I flipping love Amber for this. When in the morning when we went, because we had to go and get Amber and Adam from Camden somewhere. When Amber got on the van, she'd had t-shirts made with the tally and like some big swirling mud target or a Union Jack, I can't remember, but it looked wicked. They were wicked t-shirts, and she had like 15 of them made, and she handed them out to everyone on the bus, you know what I mean? So everyone was wearing one of these tally t-shirts as well. So yeah, so that's another thing you knew who was with us, because everybody had these white tally t-shirts on all over the bus. Sorry, I nearly forgot that for some reason. Yeah, but yeah, that was amazing of Amber. Amazing. yeah, cheers, babe. Nice one. Yeah, so anyway, we're on the bus and trying to go home, and everyone's been well noisy and just nuts. And but then after like an hour or so, people just started to fall to sleep, which was probably the greatest thing that could have happened for Chris in the world. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so we plodded back down the motorway and got back into London, got back to Ingester, and like everybody started getting off the bus and cheers and see you soon and leaving or whatever. So then that left me, Chris, and Dean. Now, you got to remember, Chris has still got to drive back to Birmingham. Do you know what I mean? To go home. It's mental. Like, and we're looking at the van, and it's got some quite bad dents in it. But we had one of them like rubber mallets that we used to use fishing and putting our tent pegs in the floor and things like that. Do you know what I mean? So we're trying to like panel beat this van as well as we can. Do you know what I mean? To try to see that if we can get away with it or whatever. And we're there doing that for like we must have left there at midnight, and I don't know, it takes about 3-4 hours to get back. So I mean, we're looking at, it was like 5 o'clock in the morning, like, and Chris is still not even left to go home. You know what I mean? And we was like, look, in the end, we was like, look, we can't do any more. We're just gonna have to, because basically what you do with these vans is, and that's another reason why we wanted to drop it off before they opened, because you just park the van outside and you post the keys through their letterbox. So we drove it down to Kentish Town, done that, and then drove back in Chris's car back to Ingester, and he dropped me and Dean back. And then it was like, nice one, Chris, mate. And then he left to drive home to Birmingham at like 6 o'clock in the morning. I just can't believe it. Like, another couple of hours journey. Yeah, I take my hat off to that fella for that. Nice one. Yeah, but yeah, that's how our little Liverpool excursion went. And yeah, but it weren't because of the madness of that journey. But Chris, I think he played like 2 more gigs, one at the Water Rats, one at the Bull and Gate with us, and then he left the band. And yeah, mental. Yeah, and actually, he got charged for the dents in the van as well. Well, it was easy to spot, you know what I mean? Yeah, so he had to pay for the damage as well. So it was a bit of a mental journey for Chris, you know what I mean? Because he weren't drinking, because he was driving. So like, he didn't really have that sort of enjoyment of, do you know what I mean? He had to be quite. He's a bit older than us as well, and like, just having all the mental nutters on the van, like. But it was well worth it. It was well worth it. It's like, do you know what? That's the only time I've ever been to Liverpool, and that's the furthest north that I've ever been. Unless Alton Towers is slightly more north than Liverpool, I'm not sure. I know it's close to Liverpool, but yeah. So basically, just yeah. Well, at least we have had the experience of playing the Cavern. You know what I mean? It's like quite a prestigious sort of thing to say to other people. Like, yeah, like what sort of venues you play down at? Yeah, I played the Cavern in Liverpool. You know what I mean? Like the Roundhouse in Camden. You have to say all the big nice venues first. Yeah, so sweet, thank you, cheers, nice one, thanks for listening. Okay, sweet. Yes, and that is the end of the Cavern CHAP Tale. That started back in January, so if you haven't heard it, get back there and listen to the first half of this story. Yes, sweet, nice one, thanks for listening. Okay, essay. Okay, so I have got for this episode one more track that I'm going to show you. The track is Devil Woman. I wrote this track probably, I don't know, probably around the time of the late Tally. And it's mad as well because I actually ended up writing about 20 verses for this song, and then I ended up picking 2, maybe 3, 2.5, and I looked at them because I had the others on a note in my phone, and just let it read some lyrics back to me and stuff. And like, yeah, the other verses are much more complex. Like, you know, like sometimes you're writing a tune and you feel that you just got to overdo everything, you know what I mean? But you don't. You just let it flow, man. Let it come out. Write it down. Do you know what I mean? Put it into the track. Play the track with the band. Get out there, play it live, and then record it with the band and sit back and listen to it. And I swear to God, everything will fall into place. You'll think, hang about, that's what I mean. Yes. Yeah, so that's the last song that I'm going to show you, which is Devil Woman. Yeah, so round up this episode, because once Devil Woman finishes, that is the end of this episode. Next month, I will go into more of the songs that me and Michaeli wrote together. Yeah, I will next month. Yeah, and then in the third episode of this sort of like mini opera, if you like. No, I'll play just everything else. You know what I mean? Well, I'm not even gonna. Yeah, we'll get through the whole album in these 3 episodes, won't I? Yeah, play it. Yeah, I will. So I'll probably have to, in the last episode, I'll probably have, because there's other bits and pieces that me and Michaeli did that was just sitting on the sideline that didn't make it onto the album that we did together. And I will show you a couple of those. And then I will, yeah, if you want a little prequel into all that, I've just released an album called Instrumental Noodling, Fast Cars and Damp Days, and that album has got a couple of the tracks on it that me and Michaeli had sitting on the sideline. Yeah, so if you want to go and check that album out now, you'll hear what I'm going to show you in episode 3 of this mini opera. Yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed what I've been showing you so far. I mean, all the tracks that I've shown you so far are the mixes and masters from the Chameleon bag. So if you want to go and buy John Chapman, The Italian Job, you can compare what we've shown you so far and see which ones you like. I think I will give you all of the Chameleon bag mix masters, so you don't have to buy that album, you know what I mean? You can just buy my album, John Chapman, The Italian Job, and then you've got the comparison with this on CHAP CAST and what's on the album, you know what I mean? So you can compare them that way if you want to. If you don't want to, that's fine. Yeah, so I will stick up Devil Woman, enjoy it, and I will speak to you all next month, which will be March, and we will go through 6 tracks that are sort of me and Michaeli co-written jobs, you know what I mean? You had 1666 on this episode, with 5 of my sort of tracks before the bells and whistles, and then next month I'll give you 6 of me and Michaeli, and then in the last episode of this mini splotch, I'll just give you some of the great tracks that haven't been used so far, and I'll give you some of the stuff that's on Instrumental Noodling, Fast Cars, Damp Days. Oh yeah, and also you don't have to buy the albums. You can go straight onto Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, YouTube Music, all the other ones as well. And you can listen to Fly Pelican Fly, The Chameleon Bag, John Chapman, The Italian Job, and John Chapman, Instrumental Noodling, Fast Cars and Damp Days. There's also a few more albums and EPs of mine on there as well, if you fancy that. If you want to buy them, that is amazing, because that helps me out. But if you just want to stream them, that's sweet as well. Nice one. All right, I will speak to you all next month. Hope you're all doing sweet. And yeah, nice one. Devil Woman.